they can redistribute the votes, and then they can re-upload them. That is what we call election fraud. And that is the trip I'm going to take you through today. Now, what we saw was very interesting in Dallas. We saw all these errors you see right here. All these errors were on the logs. And at first we thought, well, man, is this just the worst software in the world? And so we decided to compare Dallas and what we saw in the Dallas logs to what was on the San Antonio logs. That's Bexar County. And we used the logic that said, look, if this really is going on, the reason we picked San Antonio is that it's the exact same private voting company running their election. And in San Antonio, it's very, very blue. And so there would logically be only one race that if someone were trying to do what we were worried about doing, there was only one race they'd mess with, and that was the Ted Cruz Beto O'Rourke race. So we shouldn't see much in San Antonio.
What's he implying there? That blues cheat? Or reds cheat? I don't know. Let's keep going.
But we should see a lot going on in Dallas if, in fact, our concern was true. And what did we find? Well, we found 1,027 times in the Dallas logs the warning that votes exceed ballots. And when
hello. Votes cannot exceed the number of ballots. I mean, that's kind of obvious. But you're going to let it go through and tabulate it. How is that even possible? It can't happen.
that happens in a precinct, basically what it's saying is you have now loaded more votes for candidates into the computer than the ballots that were actually cast. And so between the end of early voting and election day, we saw that warning 1,027 times. And by the way, each time is not one vote. Each time can be 20, 30, 50 votes. So it can be a lot of votes here. It never appeared in the San Antonio logs.
So in Dallas, there are over 1,000 instances of votes exceeding ballots. Why? And why doesn't it happen in San Antonio? It should be unrelated at all. Does that mean Dallas has more thieves? Smarter people behind the scenes to screw things up? Keep going.
Hard database reset. Between the end of early voting and election day, we saw all the original votes get downloaded from the precincts for early voting. Reports were generated, and then the entire database of them was wiped out, and a little while later it was reloaded from someplace else, not the original data. And we saw.
So you put the data in a system, you print a report, you assume the hard copy is good because it just came off the database, right? So then you delete the database. So the report you have in your hand doesn't actually match what's in the database anymore, right? Isn't that make sense? So isn't the report in your hand now wrong?
Saw that happen twice. It never happened in San Antonio. We saw on election day the warning, precinct is already updated. And it didn't matter. The private operator, ES&S, said, well, we don't care, update it again anyway.
To be honest, I don't know what that even means. Precinct already updated. Maybe it's a one. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I don't know what that means.
And then, of course, many times you'd see a votes exceed ballot warning. Replaced?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Of course you'd see a votes exceeds ballot warning? Wait a minute. That must be important. Go back to that. Whoever's trying to figure this crap out. Look, this isn't for me. And this isn't for the smart people. This is for the people who don't know what we are talking about. Nobody knows what we're talking about, people. Nobody. People don't understand what's going on. So we got to break it down a little bit, break it down Barney style. We got to tell them this crap is happening.
We saw entire precincts replaced 96 times in Dallas and only once in San Antonio, and then collect audit data from a compact flash. Now, this is not collecting it from the original data sticks that came in from the precincts. This is something different, and we saw that happen 4 times. So right away we went, man, this is not looking good.
And you can't make it too long. People don't have an attention span anymore, longer than a YouTube video. I don't even know how long this is. 6 minutes, probably too long for some people. They won't stick around. I've been checking my stats on my videos. Some people look at them for like 11 seconds. Well, some of these videos tell stories from the beginning to the end, and it takes longer than 11 seconds to tell the story. You gotta sit back and listen. Sometimes there's somebody talking, and you're not paying attention. Well, sometimes you are paying attention, but sometimes you're not. You're not listening. This is a big deal, people. And if this doesn't prove voter fraud to you, then something, your logic is flawed. You cannot exceed the number of votes. That's fraud. Do you know how many times people have called or tweeted me? That's not proof. Well, you didn't watch the video. I don't know what to say. Just keep going.